Hello, guys. Welcome back to Cloud Genius. My name is Penty Joseph. In this video, we will be looking at the Model 15 Capstone project. That is the final project for the SAA. So, without wasting much time, let's get into it. Before you do, kindly take some time to read about the Capstone so you can have overview of what you are to do and then read some documentations that are provided if you really want to understand what you are up to. The reason why sometimes I recommend them for you is because it helps not just for you to um, do or code along with me or maybe provision those resources along with me, but also to understand the overview of what you are doing. It kind of adds some value and deeper understanding to what you are doing. So kindly spend some few minutes, maybe in 30, 40, to just read the lab overview and then understand them. Without wasting much time, let's start the lab. I've already clicked on start the lab, allowing it to load, so it's now available. I can click on AWS just this to log it in. Okay, we are supposed to have an instance running, so let me see if the instance is available. Yes, I think there is one instance running. Yes, there's one instance running by the name Bastin. Okay, so let's get back to this, and then I'm duplicating this. So I'm duplicating it one more time, and then I'm duplicating it for the last time. Okay. So on the EC2, one of the console on the I'll search for EC2, or you can select EC2. Since I just opened, I've only clicked on it because I had it right there. Okay, and then we need to create a load balancer. So sorry, let me put this on chat. Okay, I think it's fine now. Okay, so click on load balancer, and then we need to create a load balancer. So we are creating an application load balancer. So create load balancer, just do it Penty so Penty load balancer. Okay, yes, it's going to be internet facing IPv4, and then the VPC is example VPC, and then the availability zone is the two public subnets. Okay, so make sure that you are selecting the two public subnets. Okay, so yes, they are all selecting. No, this one is selecting the private subnet. So let me change that. Let the two all be public subnets, because with the load balancer is supposed to be in the public subnet. Okay, yes, so the load balancer is supposed to be in the public subnet. Take note of that. So if it selects the private, then kindly change that. Then what again? Security group. Let's change this to load balancer, application load balancer security group. And then it's supposed to have a target group, so we don't have yet. Let's click on create target group. So the target is going to be an instance. Yes, it's going to be choose target type is going to be an instance, and then target name. Let's see, were we given? No, we were not given. So Um, where is it? Target name, just do it. Penti dash targets. Okay, so I'm leaving it there like this. Yes, it's an instance type, Penti dash targets. So yes, the VPC should be selected and everything could be leave as default. And then yes, we select this and then include as pending. Yes, so yes, it should be selected and then include below as pending, and then let's go. Okay, so we've created a target. Return back to where you are creating the load balancer. Refresh this, and then from the drop down select the load balancer. Okay, the listener from there, that is the target listener from here, and then go back, go down, sorry, go down, go down, go down, go down. I don't think there's anything again, so create the load balancer. Yes, so the load balancer is in progress. It's creating it now. Now we will need an auto scaling group. So let's create an auto scaling groups. Yes, so auto scaling group. So we create an auto scaling group. So I'll give it a name as Penti auto scaling group, Penti ASG. Okay, so standing for Penti. And then launch templates, you should choose example launch template, or example launch LT. Okay, because it was part of the lab. Okay, it's already in the lab. It's the default template that comes with the lab. So network settings, we are looking for example VPC, and then availability zone, we are creating an auto scaling. So availability zone is the two public subnets. Okay, yes, the two public subnets. So um the the how do you call it, the auto scaling, and the other one can be in the public subnet though, but we'll put the instance in the private subnet, so they will still cannot be reached. Okay, I don't know, do you let me see, I don't know if you are getting what I'm talking about. So let me see this target group private subnet. What are we creating? Yes, auto scaling. Okay, so the auto scaling, which is going to be, somewhere here, you see, and then it's going to scale in and out, you see, it's going to scale in and out. So looking at where it is, then so the public subnet is selected, and then next, let me see something, let me compare previous, yes, example VPC here next, and then load balancing. Yes, we attach an existing load balancer from, yes, we've created a load balancer, we've selected it, and then okay, monitoring is already off. Keep. Okay, this list is also very important. Desired is 1, minimum is 1, max should be 2. Leave the policy as it is, and then click this. No, then click that, and then go ahead to create the auto scaling group. So the auto scaling group is also going to provision an instance. Okay, so a few minutes, there should be an instance. You saw the Bastion host was already there. Few minutes, there should be another instance with the name example. I think it's already there. It's already provisioned. Yes, so it's initializing. You can see it here. Example app is already there. Okay, so when this is passed, we should be able to have access to the load balancer. So let me open the EC2. Then let's check the load balancer. So if you look at the diagram like this, the load balancer is somewhere here. Okay, so the load balancer will be controlling these instances. So one instance will be here, one instance will be there. The load balancer will be sharing the traffic among them. Okay, so we'll be redirecting the traffic depending on one or two metrics, depending on the metrics that you define. Okay. Mhm. Now let's try to create the database, because even when we have, did we open the EC2 what do we call the load balancer? Yes, the load balancer is right here. So if we want to get access to the website that is running on this, we need to tap it from the load balancer. Okay, so how do we do that? Let's get the DNS name of the load balancer. When we get it like this, and then we try to open it something like this. So let me paste it like this. It should open the website for us. Okay, it's taking long because I think it's now loading. Yes, so it's loaded. You can see that it's loaded. Let me see. Let me run a query. Let me try to run a query. So yes, 404 gateway out. That is because let me see. Let me try refreshing it. Yes, let's try to run the query again. So you can see it's a query page. Okay, yes. And then when you select anything like mobile phone, you select submit, it's going to tell you that no such file directory. That is because the database is not connected. So what I'm going to do is that we are going to create a database. Okay, so let's go to one of the console and then search RDS. You can search RDS. I already have it in my recently visit. So before I create a database, I have to create um I'll have to create a subnet group, okay, for the database, because it's going to be in the private subnet. Look at it. It's going to be for the DB is going to come here because it's not going to be publicly accessible. So the DB has to come here, okay? It has to come here. And then, so let me create for that for the DB. How do I do that? Create subnet. Let me do it. Penti DB subnets. So the description should be the same. Paste, and then VPC should be example VPC. Availability zone should be 1, 2. Okay, and then the subnet is going to be the private subnet of this. So it's going to be the first one with the slash 23 in the first one, and then the second one to the one with the slash 23. Okay, so that is it. We've selected it and then create it. Okay, because we are creating a subnet before we will even create the RDS. Now let's create the RDS. Let's go to the dashboard. Let's go to the dashboard, create database. So yes, it's standard. Which engine are we using? Engine option, let's choose MySQL. And then after choosing MySQL, version should be okay, it should be left like that. Dev/test, choose this. Okay, so from this, choose this multi easy database instances. Okay, choose that. And then identifier name, just do it Penti DB. Okay, Penti DB. And then credentials, admin is okay, but I want to manage the password myself. So I'm giving it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Second one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so yes. And then when it come to this, that is the DB instance class, we need to choose bastable. So don't forget that you choose bastable here. And then for the DB T3 micro, let it be, if you want, you can change, but mine is okay. I think they said we can choose up to medium. With the storage type, choose the GP2, okay? So change the located storage from 200 to 20. And then, so don't connect. Yes. Don't connect EC2, yes. So let's choose this example VPC, okay? And yes, so, yeah, so it has auto select the DB subnet that we created, okay? Because it's going to use that as a private subnet. So this DB is what we have to choose, example DB, and then deselect the defaults, okay? So example DB has been selected. Going down, going down, going down. Disable monitoring. No need for monitoring. Yes, password authentication is okay. Okay. Let me go through again to see if there's any other thing I would like to change before I create it. Okay. Mm. Okay, so we can create the database. We can go ahead to create the database. Everything is okay. We can go ahead to create the database. We are closing that. Okay, now the database is going to be created. Okay, so you can see creating here. Now what do? Let's go and update the system parameter store. So let's type systems manager. Yes, let's go to systems manager. According to the lab, we need to do something there, so I'm bringing it here. So if you go down, you can see that they gave the idea of what we are to do. So we are to do this in the parameter store where it's going to take the feed from. So yes, we are here, and then we scroll down to parameter store. So click on create parameter. The first parameter was supposed to be the example endpoint name, but we don't have it. So don't forget the username was admin. We left the username to be admin. Okay, so we are pasting this. This is the path name. Okay, so description is optional, and then we are going down to the value. We left it admin. Okay, so we are creating the parameters. First parameter is created. Create second parameter. Second one, which is password. Okay, so paste, and then go to the value. The password is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Let's not forget. Okay, so it's fine, it's fine. So I'm creating that. We've created the password, and then database. Okay, the database itself. So create another parameter and then paste it. Come to the value, which was penti db. Okay, it was penti db. So we are creating that as well. Now we are left with only one parameter to create. So let's go and see if the load balancer is done. Okay, because with the not the load balancer, sorry, with the database, because with the database we will only have access to it endpoint after creating. You can see it here. It's not in yet. So we will only have access to the endpoint after it had created everything and then it's successful. Okay, that's where we will have access to the endpoint. So let's give it some time. It's going to create and then let us know what has happened. So let's give it some time to do that. Okay, yes. So create parameter, and then just with that name paste it. Yes, the only thing we are waiting for is the value. Okay, and the value will be ready when this is done creating. Okay, yes, so I think it's done. Let's open it and see. It should be in by now. Yes, the endpoint is right here. Let's copy it and then put the value here. Okay, so it's right here, and then let's create the parameter. Now we've created the parameters for all of this. Okay, so anything it can connect to it through the parameter store. Okay, and then retrieve the data. Now we are supposed to SSH into the instance. So what do? We'll SSH into this instance. Then we will use this instance to SSH into this instead of SSH into this directly. I don't know if you are getting what I'm saying. But before we can SSH into this instance through this instance, we need to go and do something. If not, when we SSH, we will have an error and then come back to do that thing before we go on. So what I can tell you is, go to the EC2 side, and then EC2 side where we are, sorry, go to the security group, search for inventory app, update, yes, inventory app, this, then update the inbound rule like this, edit, add the inbound rule, select SSH, custom, and then type Bastion. Okay. What it's simply doing is that, you see, we were going to use one to SSH into the other. So we are going to use this to SSH into this. But this one does not have that permission to SSH into this. So we are granting it that permission right here. That's what we are doing here. We are granting it that permission right here. Don't forget it's the Bastion. So that's why we are granting it the permission right here. And then save the rule. Okay. So after saving the rule, let's try to SSH into the Bastion instance. Then again, don't forget that the website is not able to load also because the data is not active here. Okay. So what do we do? Let me connect to the instance, and then let me select the instance like this. Click on connect, and then yes, EC2 instance connect. That's what I'm going to use. I don't want to use any putty or mobile stem. Okay. So I'm using this to connect in. So let me close this. Okay, so let me LX to see if we have anything. Enter. No, I think we don't have anything. If it doesn't show, you want it to show ls dash lrt. Enter. You can see it's saying the total is 0. So if the total is 0, we are going to create the file. Come here, click on AWS details, and then go to SSH key, and then click on show. Okay. When it shows, copy the whole thing, the private key file like this, copy the whole thing like this. Okay. Copy it like this. Come back to where you've SSH into the instance. Type VI. Okay, like this. Type VI like this. Because you are going to enter into a mode that will allow you to paste and then save the command that you have copied. Okay. Yes. I want to prepare your mind first before we work on that. So that is exactly what we are going to do. We are going to run a command that will let us save the file on our own because they didn't save the file on the system. So we are going to save the file. Okay. So we type VI just like this and then enter. When it comes like this, then click I. You see it has written insert here. Go ahead and then paste whatever you have here. When you are done, click escape, or sorry, press on escape and then shift and this. Oh, hold on, I think I'm not doing it right. Hold on. Yeah, is it not this key? I think it's escape shifts. Yes. So it's escape shift and then those two colors. Okay. So I want to save it. So WKO space. Then the name I want to give it to it. Okay. I want to name it labs user. Okay. Dot pem. So I want to name it labs user dot pem. Look at how I'm writing it, labs user dot pem. You can name it anything you want to. It doesn't matter. Hit enter, and then that is all. But I want to check if the file is saved first. So what do I do? Let's try to list what is in the directory right now. So ls, hit enter. Now you can see it right there. Lab user dot pem is in the directories. So I want to change directories into this lab user. So what do I do? Chmod chmod and then 400 labs user dot pem, like this. Okay, and then I hit enter. Okay, so now it's changed into that currently. So what do? I have to SSH into the instance. So I'm going to give the command to SSH by inputting SSH space dash I, and then identity is labs user dot pem. It's right here. Oh, I've forgotten that this is Linux. So labs user, sorry, I space. So labs user dot pem. Okay, and then go forward dot pem space ec2 dash user at, then go back to where the ec2 is running. Yes, the two ec2s are running. Okay, yes, these are all ec2s, and then go back to the example what you want to copy to. Okay, so go to the example app, because now we want to SSH into the example app. Let's copy the IP address of it, and then let's go back here, paste it here, hit enter. It's asking you, and just type yes, enter. Yes. So now we have been able to SSH into that instance. Okay. So you can see this is the first one, this is the second one, and look at it. They have a different IP. So you look at the IP of this and then look at the IP of that. Okay. So that should tell you that we have now SSH into that successfully. Now, when we did ls on this one, we saw what it had. It had only labs user.pem. So let's SSH, let's list on this and see. So ls, enter. Okay, this one is also having country data dump.sql. Okay, yes. So that is all. What we have to do is that we need to cut this data and then put this data in our database. Okay, so that when someone is on this website, they will be able to have the data they are looking for, because right now the data is not integrated. So what do? Run a command that is going to copy it. So how do I do that? Let me just type my SQL space dash u space admin space dash p dash space dash dash hosts uh, so mm, so the database point name will now come next. So let's go back here. Endpoint name, don't forget that it was right here. Okay, it was right here. Okay, so the database, I'm copying that, and then so space with that, the database point name is what I have pasted, and then let's give another space. Let's give the database name, which is Penti DB. Okay, Penti database, and then what do I do next? Okay, so shape space with less than, sorry, less than, less than, okay, less than, and then let's copy this. So I'm copying this, and then let's give one more space and then paste it here. Okay, all this command, what it's simply doing is that it's telling this thing that is copying, or is verifying this and then copying this into this. Okay, so it's copying all this into the database. That's exactly the command that we are giving. Okay, so what do I do next? I think that's all. Everything is correct, if I'm right. Yes. So um, yes. So let me hit enter, and then I'm prompted with password. Don't forget that the password is 1 to 9. That's what I use. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So let me hit enter. Unknown database. Why is the database unknown? Okay, guys. I think I skipped some parts when I was creating the RDS. So I have deleted it. You can see it's successfully deleted. So I am going to create another RDS, and then we will try to copy the data from the other side. Okay. Okay, so let's create it. Yes, so you click on create database, and then this is what I have done so far. MySQL. You select MySQL, and then um, dev test. Okay, multi AZDB instances. Okay, so the settings, DB instance identifier, I'm giving it as an example, and then credential master username is admin, and then password is star 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 star. Okay, star 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 star, and then I'm selecting bastable from here, leaving the T3 micro, and then coming down, I'm selecting GP2 from here, leaving this in 20, and then going down, connectivity, selecting the example VPC. Okay, and then it will select this automatically since we've already created it. Okay, the subnet. Yes, and then under the existing VPC security groups, I selected the DB, example DB, because it's there. The lab created it for you. Okay, then this is where the problem happened. We didn't click additional configuration, the other one that we created. Okay, so you are supposed to click additional configurations, and then um, so additional configurations like this. Okay, and make sure you deselect enhanced monitoring. Okay, unselect it. So let's give initial database name as example example db. Okay, so let's give it as this name, and then yes, this is okay. Auto backup is okay. Backup retention, then that, then this, then that, then this. Maintenance. Okay, so um make sure that you give the initial database name. If not, you will have problem just like I had. Okay, so make sure that you do that. So creating the database is going to take several minutes to do that. And yes, okay. So let's wait for some few minutes. I think it will take about 4 or 5 minutes. So let's wait until it's done. Before that, let me make some claims here. So, let me edit this. And then make it example db. Okay, so like this, you save it. Okay, yes. So the username is supposed to be the admin that it is, but I think we are supposed to change the password. Yes. So perimeter store. So we will change the password. We will change the endpoint name as well. So I'm changing the password right now. When it's done provisioning, then we try to change the endpoint. Okay. So edits. Okay. So I give it as star star. Okay. Star star, just like this, and then save it. So endpoint name. That is the only thing that we are supposed to change here at the moment. Okay. Yes, so immediately it's ready. We'll just put the endpoint name here and then go ahead to run our commands. Make sure that everything is okay. In order for this not to time out, let's just do it ls and make sure that yes, we are in the same directories. Yes, so it's fine. Let me see if this command will clear the screen. Yes, I've not done anything. I've only cleared the screen. If you want to confirm, you can still do ls. You can see that we are in the same directories. Okay, so I've cleared the screen so that we can start the whole thing afresh. Yes. Okay, so it's creating. Let's give it some few minutes. Let's wait for some few minutes. Yes, so successfully created. Um, Before we need to open this and then look at the endpoint name. So we are copying the endpoint name. We are bringing it here, and then we are pasting the endpoint name here. So paste. Okay, the same way, let's go back to this and then put the endpoint name here. Paste, don't forget it, and then save it. Okay, yes, we've made all the changes. And then when we go back to this and copy the whole thing, come and run it again. So paste that, hit enter. So star. Oh, did I thought it's password. Sorry. It says MySQL unknown option host. Oh wow, wow. Let's see. So this is the endpoint, and then there is admin. Yes, we didn't paste it well, so I'm giving the space, and then I'm pasting it here. Paste. So copy. I'm going back there. Let me clear the screen and then paste it. While hit enter. Still, what is the problem? Post example. No, this is not supposed to. No, here, this is not supposed to. Copy. It's not supposed to. There is supposed to be space. Okay, hit enter. Yes. So star star enter. That is it. Now we are in. Okay. So the whole problem was because we were having issues in updating the initial database name, which is mostly classified as the actual database name. Yes. So if you also don't do that, you might face challenges. So kindly take note of that and then try to know that you work on that even before you start it. Okay. So now let's confirm to see if the database is really there. It's actually there in the system. So let's start from here. Let's cut it from here and then copy. Let's come back to here. Let me see if it's indeed showing. Enter password. We already know it's star star. It's star star enter. Yes. Okay. So show space data basis. Oh, you and I again. Uh, so um, show data basis. This enter. Have an error in SQL syntax. Show databases. Okay. Line two. Okay. Show 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 databases. Show databases. Enter. Yes. So you can see it's here. Okay, it's right here. MySQL is now here. So to confirm if it's purely working, let's go back to the website now. You remember when we select anything, it give us an error. Now let's select something. You see, it's now working. The database is showing with countries and a lot of everything. So pick another query. Let's go back there. Pick another query. So let's say let's do it by population and submit it. You can see Angola, whatever, Argentina, the country. So yes, it's integrated now. It's now working. Everything is fine. Everything is working smoothly. We can say that yes, we have integrated a database with our website and it's now working. So kindly take note of that, of the errors I encountered so you don't make the same mistake. Okay. Um, that will be all for the lab. I'm going to submit for you to see that this is a real lab and not something that I was just doing for the max. So let me submit it. Let me submit. So you can see that they are telling me that my result might change because I've submitted a new one and then it's going that changes. So yes, when it's done, we will see the latest results. Okay, it's also three. It's still 3/3, which is telling you that's exactly what we've done and what we are supposed to do. Okay. So that is all for this. See you next time. My name is Penty. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and then turn on the post notification bell. Thank you all. See you next time.